Hey, are you saying this? Why is she telling us not to become software engineers? I have no idea why she's doing that. Do you get it? Not a single idea. What's going on with her? Let's see what she has to say. Cool. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Susan. Today I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't become a software engineer. And as you heard, those two girls that are not me, obviously, asking why I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this because I think it needs to be talked about. I think that a lot of people go into software engineering not knowing this, and this is something that is important to keep in mind and evaluate if you really want to go into this career or not. And I'm going to be talking about a few things, I believe 5 things you should keep in mind, and some reasons why you might not exactly want to be a software engineer. So stay tuned as I continue this video. Okay, the first reason is that software engineering is stressful. Yes, I said it. I know some people might not be telling you the truth. I know some people might be telling you that it's not a problem. You can learn software engineering in 2 weeks. Oh, this, that. It's not true. Software engineering is stressful, and it's something you should know. This is because there are some times you have to make updates to a system, and because you have not had experience on it, this update is code that someone from 5 years ago probably wrote, probably 10 years ago, and you have to understand what was written to be able to make those changes. These are not just simple things. These are things that you have to pay attention to so that you don't mess up the entire code base. Okay, I think I'm ranting right now, but you get the point. So what I'm trying to say is that that's a stressful part. You need to be able to properly identify what you need to change, what needs to be fixed in that code, understand what the person wrote, how what you're going to add is going to make a difference or is going to help the code, and you know, those kind of things. Secondly, have you met debugging? Oh my goodness, you've not met debugging. Debugging is simply identifying errors in a code base or bugs in a code base, and this is not easy. I tell you guys, this is not easy. Sometimes you can spend days trying to figure out a bug. You can spend hours trying to figure out why, you know, there is an error in this code. You test it and you test it and it keeps showing the error, and you're not able to pinpoint where the bug is. Some bugs are just simply put from hell. Yes, I said it. They are just from hell. So you need to know this to know if you're, you know, if you have the patience. So what I'm saying in essence is that you need patience, you need persistence, you need to, you know, be able to keep this in mind. You need to be able to know that there will be days that won't be easy. Yes, there will be days that won't be easy. There will be days you have to be patient to kind of, you know, do some deep diving to identify what needs to be done, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be improved. And so this is something to keep in mind. By the way, do you see all those movies where people, you know, are typing, you know, this shows some software engineers typing and they're like, this or that's a bug, it's going to be fixed in 3, 2, 1, and the bug is fixed. Let me just tell you that that doesn't really happen all the time. I mean, there are simple bugs that are easy to fix, but there are brutal bugs that you wouldn't fix in 3 seconds. So just keep that in mind, that that's not a thing that happens all the time, just to be clear. Okay, so the second reason is rapidly changing technologies. Now, you know how people say yesterday's price is not today's price? In software engineering, yesterday's skill set may no longer easily be today's skill sets. Like what you thought you knew yesterday may no longer be applicable at your job today. And so you can't be rigid about any technology. You can't be rigid and be like, oh, I'm only learning this, I'm not going to learn anything else. It's in your best interest to be flexible enough to learn other languages, or when the need arises, you're able to easily start working on the tool with the new language that needs to be used. Now, something to keep in mind is that most times when these tools change, or when there's a new tool on board, is being built with the intention of being better than the old one. And so even though that's not always the case, because the old one might still be better than the new one, but more often than not, the new tool is built with the intention of being better than what was existing before. And so you can't just, you know, ignore new tools and be like, oh, those are just flashy, those those don't really do much. The old tools are the daddies and mommies of the industry. They are movers and shakers, you know. The point is, you can't be rigid about technologies. As a software engineer, you must be willing, you're flexible, adaptable to learn new techs to help you grow in your career. Got it? So the third thing, which I'm going to take my eyes away from the camera before I mention, is less social time. Okay, so now many people actually think that software engineers are antisocial, they are nerdy, they're not cool, they don't attend the cool events, they are always on their own, you know, doing other stuff. Although in some cases engineers are actually introverted and not by default might not be interested in doing social stuff, but I think for the most part it's because engineers actually spend a huge chunk of their time, you know, doing stuff that require you to be alone or to work alone or not to be at all the social events. For example, if you're I mentioned debugging earlier, they are unavoidable, right? And that's part of why it might seem like an engineer is, you know, not social, because they're spending most of their time debugging, they're spending most of their time learning a new skill, rapidly changing tech, like I mentioned earlier, so you have to learn the new skill. So they're spending most of their time doing that. They're spending most of their time trying to make updates to an existing system, trying to improve a software that you are using so it could be better, you know, trying to improve the user experience. Things like that are things that a software engineer would be doing, and so they might actually be spending a lot of time on that. It could create a, you know, deficit in, like, they might find out that they are not actually having time for other things. So this is something you want to consider. Are you that kind of person? Would you want to miss your social events? Would you be fine not going for your social events, not hanging out with friends all the time, you know, just so that you can code? Like, is that something you're up for? Yeah, so yeah, that's something to keep in mind as well. Like, I don't think this one needs to be resaid, but I'm going to say it again, and that's that as a software engineer, you're always learning, right? You are literally always learning something new. You have to be updated with new technologies, new tools. The tools that you're using that are being updated, you have to know about those updates, or you should know about those updates. So this is something that requires you to spend a lot of time learning. So last thing I want to talk about as a reason why you might not want to work in tech, or why you might find it a bit difficult, is because there's a fierce competition out there. As much as there are lots of jobs, there are lots of perks, and this is the reason why a couple of people are in tech. I mean, there's also the part of trying to, you know, make impact and all the other things I talked about in this video. But you also have to keep in mind that there's a huge fierce competition out there. Lots of people also trying to get jobs, and you might not get a job the first day you apply. So I recall applying to quite a number of jobs and even getting quite a number of rejections before I eventually got, you know, one of my jobs. And so you should keep in mind that, you know, there is likely going to be a huge competition out there. So don't get discouraged when you get rejections. Just, it's part of the process for the most part. Yeah, and these are the things you should keep in mind. So for those of you that are wondering, hey, do I really need to, you know, can I really survive? What are the things that are in tech that I probably don't know? These are some of the things you might want to consider, you know, as a reason for getting into tech or not getting into tech. And yeah, being a programmer specifically, because there are tons of other careers here in tech. So as a programmer, these are the things you want to keep in mind before taking this direction. And we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys had fun watching this. Please share this video with your friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you learned something from this. I would like to know what's one thing that you think you might find difficult, or you currently find difficult as someone in tech. Please drop that in the comments. What's one thing that scares you about getting into tech? I'd like to know. And yeah, if you are new to this channel and you're yet to subscribe, please do well to subscribe here. And if you want to learn how to code, if you're a super beginner, you want to, you know, become a master at coding, you want to learn how to code, you want to learn how to program, watch this video to look at some of the resources resources that you can use to do so. Thank you for watching my video. Again, I will see you in the next one. Bye.